Something that we do know, in starting off this brief discussion here, is that there has been an apparent increase in the number of cases of autism. And a lot of this attention was generated when a report was released by the California Department of Developmental Services, and they reported a 210% increase in the number of persons with autism between 1987 and 1988. 1987 and 1998. Now, why is that? There's a lot of discussion on why that is. I think what people can agree on is that there is increased awareness of this. There has been a change in the criteria by which the diagnosis of autism takes place. But a lot of people are looking for another reason why. And the reason that people have a lot of pointed to is immunizations. You may have heard the term thimerosal. Thimerosal is in immunizations. It is an organic compound that has been used as a preservative in immunizations since the 1930s. And how this got into the equation is in 1999, the federal government, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, they released a statement stating that some infants who received thimerosal-containing vaccines could receive doses of mercury that exceeded FDA guidelines for methyl mercury. That's kind of part of the equation of how all this stuff got started. And after that report, the FDA advocated for thimerosal-free immunizations. And that started the very next year. But when it comes down to mercury toxicity, what is the story behind that? That is, it's complicated. And I don't want to get into all the particulars of things like methyl mercury and ethyl mercury, because we don't really know what the breakdown is, how the thing is processed in the system. There's been a lot of studies. A lot of the studies, some of the studies are good, some of the studies are not so good. But if you hear the hype is around mercury, how much mercury gets in the system. And the reason of that is that a lot of the symptoms of mercury poisoning are similar. They're similar to what some of the autism behaviors and symptoms are. And that is where the vaccine immunization opponents get, that's what they say. They say the increase in autism is because of mercury poisoning. And I don't want to break down all of these specifics because in this article that I read to prepare for the show here for tonight, they really break things down as far as this is what happens with mercury poisoning. This is how it's not autism behaviors. And you may have heard of a study, I think it came out around 1998 or 1999, huge in the press, that they said they linked the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, to autism, and that has been going on, that has been perpetuated for the past 10 years. And in the past year, that has been discredited. That study has been discredited. There has been a lot of follow-up studies on that stating that there is no link right now between immunizations and autism. And you can probably see, well, not you probably see, you've seen also in the news as well, there's been a lot of federal court cases, basically class action lawsuits brought against companies who make the vaccine. And even the federal courts have said, hey, we have not seen a link. There's no case here. Autism is not caused by immunizations. But still, the immunization opponents have a big voice, especially those in Hollywood who have voiced their opinion, which they can do. But I think that with the data that we have right now, that I can definitely tell people, I tell my patients, that the benefit from immunizations definitely outweigh the false science that says that immunizations cause autism. And there have been complications from this. There are consequences to this. There have been documented increases in those diseases, basically stuff like mumps. That is one of the M's in MMR. There have been documented increases in mumps in this country because certain parents have not given their kids the immunization because of the controversy. So that is kind of in a nutshell. I can go into a lot more detail as far as breaking down the studies and things, but that is the bottom line on this. And it's going to be controversial. It's still going to be controversial. I still get questions about it in my office every day, asking me, why do you want to give my child this immunization because it causes autism? And, we do our best to try to break it down. But immunization opponents definitely are feeding on the fears of people. And that is sad. And I hope we can get back to the work of trying to find what the cause of autism is. I think definitely there is a genetic component that we have to find. I think that's definitely part of it. Are there other things that may cause it? Environmental causes? We don't know. And it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating for me as a physician, as a professional. It's very frustrating for parents who are going through this. And in these last remaining moments of the show tonight, I do want to invite you to check out the Andy and Burl live show from a year ago, where they have two parents who are sharing their journey with kids on the autism spectrum. That was done in April 2009. You can listen to that over on dranonymous.com. I was going to get segments of that, but I would encourage you to listen to that show in its entirety, because that definitely gives you a different point of view than what I can give you, because they are families who are living through it, who are going through it, what their journey is with autism. So that ends my show here tonight. I have about 30 seconds here. I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. This is Dr. Anonymous signing off. Go to dranonymous.com, dranonymous.net, dranonymous.org.